at school, you have to be the best at every subject. You are overall seen as a good student if you do well in every subject. And this is something that we have to unlearn as we become adults, or especially if you become entrepreneurs. I think working on your weaknesses is, for the majority of the part, a big waste of time. The hard truth is that you'll never be great at everything. One important thing that I learned in entrepreneurship is that you gotta stop working on your weaknesses. Hey everyone, welcome to the show Built with VAs, and on the show we talk about how we can grow our companies by leveraging other people's time, skills, and talent. Whether you're hiring international virtual assistants or local teams, the information that you will find on this show will be super helpful. So let's talk about today's topic, strengths versus weaknesses. One thing that I learned in leadership is that we gotta stop working on our weaknesses. And I know some people might disagree with me. They will say something like, no, that's not true. If you're not good at something, you have to be better at something. There's a lot of information on YouTube. Take a course, become better at this. I fundamentally disagree, because if you put your energy and efforts into working on your weaknesses, what's happening to your strengths? The very thing that makes you stand out and that makes you, your strengths, are being neglected while you're working on your weaknesses. And yes, sure, patching holes here and there makes sense, but I want to shift the mindset here. What if instead of working on our weaknesses, we double down on our strengths? What would the ROI on that investment be like? So I'm not sure if you agree with me or disagree, but I want to tell you why I think working on our weaknesses is, for the majority of the part, a big waste of time. Because let's think about Elon Musk here for a second. What if instead of being this visionary, he decided he's going to be great at marketing or an ace accountant? Do you think he'd still be the visionary he is now? No, unlikely, right? Because your strengths is what you do better than most people is going to separate you from the pack. And these are also the areas where you can make an incredible impact. Or consider someone like Steve Jobs. What if he decided that he wants to be the best coder in the company? And yes, knowing how to write code is very important in the technical field, but he knew that his strength lies in being the visionary, lies in product design, lies in understanding customers' desires even before they know they want something. And that's what set him apart. And that's where he made the biggest impact. And that's how he transformed an entire industry. So focus on what's moving the needle. The hard truth is that you'll never be great at everything. And that's okay. That's totally okay. And this is something that even comes from school. At school, you have to be the best at every subject. You are overall seen as a good student if you do well in every subject. And this is something that we have to unlearn as we become adults, or especially if you become entrepreneurs, because it's ingrained in us, and we have this desire to be better at everything. We have to be best at marketing. We have to be best at sales. We have to be best at product design, or knowing our service or customer service, and being the face of the company. And there's so much that's on our shoulders. So it takes a lot of time to unlearn that it's okay not to be the greatest at everything. If accounting makes your head spin, hire an accountant. If sales make you squirm, hire a salesperson. You can't eliminate weaknesses, but you can manage them. And managing weaknesses is not about being an expert in every single area, but making these weaknesses irrelevant. Because you find a way, irrelevant to you, because you find a way to work around them. They are only weaknesses if you let them be weaknesses. And my favorite argument is the ROI. Think about how much energy it would take to bring something that's a 3 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. So that's 2 points, right? And then what if we have something that's a 7 out of 10 and we want to bring it to a 10 out of 10? That's 3 points. So it might sound like we need to put more energy into bringing it something from 7 to a 10. But in reality, when you work on your strengths, you're actually working with momentum, not against it. It's a much faster way of reaching mastery because you already have a solid foundation. You have a 7 out of 10 already out of the way done. You've already learned pretty much everything that needs to learn. You're a natural at this. You enjoy it. You may be known for this, rather than putting time and bringing something that's a 3 out of 10 to 5 out of 10. I'll give you an example. I am not the best at social media. I don't think I like it very much, but I understand I need it. And I need to find someone. I'm actually still looking. I need to find someone who will bring my social media to a better place where it is right now. I would say I'm a 3 out of 10. I need somebody who loves social media who they're 7 out of 10. Okay, because I know that my weakness is somebody else's strength. And if I were to do social media right now, I would waste a lot of time and energy trying to figure out what are the trends, how do I do this, what are the Pinterest need to have, what does Instagram need to have, like all of these nuances that are going to take a lot of my time and energy, and they're going to distract me from the strength that I have, something that I need to be working on, the needle mover, right? I don't need to spend time in that. However, there are people out there who live and breathe hashtags, who love this, who love what they're doing, and they understand content, they understand virality, they understand platforms, they understand everything. Stories, like what is a story? I know what a story is, but I'm not that great at that, and that's okay. I learned to accept it. So the idea is when you're honing a strength, you're doubling down on something you're already good at, which means you'll reach mastery faster and with less effort than trying to perfect a weakness. Alright, so now that I hopefully sold you on the idea of working on your strength, here are some actionable tips. Number 1 is identify your genius zone. What is something you're good at? What is something that comes natural to you, that you love, that you could do every day, and that brings money as well to the company? If you know what that is, congratulations. You want to spend more time doing this in your genius zone. So if that's your strength, building connection means exponential growth for your company. And the second thing is outsource what's draining you. In the previous episode, I talked about the productivity rate and how to find it. Basically, how to understand at what price point it makes no sense for you to hold on to a task, but it should be done by someone else. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead, watch the previous episode or listen to the previous episode because it's going to be an eye-opener for you. But the idea is if someone can take a responsibility that it's going to end up costing less money and less time, then they should take care of that. But what you can do as an entrepreneur, you can create systems and processes for repetitive responsibilities. For example, if there's a task or a responsibility that is non-strength and needs to be delegated to someone else, let them know how you want that to be handled. Build systems and processes around that so that you don't spend mental energy in the long run when these tasks will basically run themselves. So the bottom line here is work on your strengths and staff your weaknesses. And the next time you feel the urge to work on a weakness, stop and think about this. Hey, is this the best use of my time? Because I promise you, it may not be. Could you leverage your strength and delegate everything else? All right, this is the idea that I wanted to bring to you today, and I hope you got a lot of good, useful information today and a lot of good value. Let me know in the comments also what else you'd like me to cover, or just gonna share your thoughts so I don't feel like I'm speaking to myself and I don't feel like an island here. I'd really appreciate your feedback. Just let me know how I'm doing or just simply say hi in the comments. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you soon.